Welcome to Content Creation 101, lesson number 5. In this final lesson, we're going to be talking about staying inspired as a blogger. In this lesson, we'll be talking about how to never run out of blog post ideas. We'll talk about organizing all of those ideas. We'll talk about the importance of rest and time offline, and also how to set goals as a blogger. So you've made it to lesson 5 and you're all set up to start creating some really great engaging content for your audience. But as so many people have asked me over the years, what happens if I run out of blog post ideas? And they're always coming to me and saying, how do you stay inspired as a blogger? Well, I get it. Writer's block can be a source of a lot of stress for a blogger. The thought of having to produce content day after day, week after week, and coming up with fresh ways to encourage and inspire and motivate and entertain people, that can feel like a lot. But it doesn't have to be. And so after blogging for over 13 years, I can honestly say that it's far harder to run out of blog post ideas than one might think, if you do things to help you stay inspired. So in this lesson, I'm going to share some of my most effective tips for keeping yourself inspired all year long. So let's talk about the 10 tips to never run out of blog post ideas. If you're finding yourself uninspired or you just wonder how I stay inspired, here you go. Number 1 is to live vibrantly offline. A vibrant offline life will fuel your online creativity. So I think it's so important that you have a healthy balance of face-to-face interaction with friends, that you have family fun that you don't blog or tweet about or post on social media, and that you have media-free blocks of time in your day and in your week. I also am a huge advocate of reading voraciously. If you want to be a good writer, the best thing you can do is to immerse yourself in good writing. And that means you need to read good writing very often. Surround yourself with well-written books by authors that will inspire you to think, dream, and do. You're constantly pouring out words to the world. And so therefore, you need to make sure that you are filling that supply back up so that you have something to give out. Now, number 3 is one that some people might disagree with me, but I think it's important that you write every single day. Now, I'm not saying that you need to write an entire blog post every single day, but I think the practice of writing something every day keeps your blogging muscles in really good shape. I also find that the more I write, the more I'm inspired to write. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it's been the case for me. I know, especially when I've been in the middle of a big writing project, such as one of my books, you would think that I would have run out of inspiration, but no, I felt like I had so much more inspiration for so many other new blog posts that I wanted to write outside of my big writing project, just because I had my head down and I was really exercising my writing muscles. Truly, I think creativity breeds creativity. So if you want to blog regularly, don't wait until you feel inspired to write. Just make the practice and develop the habit of writing every single day. Writing something, whether it's in your journal, whether it's something for social media, whether it's a note to someone else, or whether it's actually a blog post. Write every single day. Also, capture your thoughts immediately. I found that if I don't write my great ideas down, I will up and forget them. So as soon as that idea comes in my head of a blog post or a blog post outline starts taking shape in my brain, I get out my pen and paper, or I will hold up my phone and I will voice an email to myself if I am in the car or somewhere where I don't have time to jot down the ideas, so that I'm capturing those thoughts immediately, so that I don't end up, a few hours later thinking, oh, what was that great blog post idea that I had? And being like, I don't remember. So capture your thoughts immediately. Also, listen intently. One of the best ways to challenge your brain and have a never-ending stream of ideas and inspiration is to become a student of life. All of life can be a classroom if we're a willing learner. Everyone, no matter who they are or where they are in life, can teach us something. And most people can teach you amazing things if you'll only but listen. So ask good questions of others and then listen intently. Build community is number 6. If you want to build a successful blog, stop focusing so much on building a platform and instead throw your efforts into creating a community on your blog, on your social media. Creating a community where your audience has a space to share their thoughts with you and with one another can be an amazing source of inspiration for you as a blogger. Listen to your readers. Let them know that you care about what they have to say, what they need from you, and what they want from you as a blogger. It's amazing how inspiring this can be because they will ask questions in the comments that you'll be like, I can't really respond to that in just a comment. I need to write an entire blog post on that. Or they will email in questions, and these can be the source of inspiration for many, many blog posts. Experiment regularly. I want to challenge you to ask yourself, when was the last time you did something new? I told you that creativity breeds creativity, so if you're allowing yourself to just be stuck in a rut and you're just doing the same old things every single day in all aspects of your life, that might be why you're struggling to come up with blogging inspiration. Don't be afraid to try something new in just your everyday life or as a blogger. Mix things up. Add a little fresh inspiration to your blog. Try something that feels really outside the box. You might be pleasantly surprised by how it inspires you or just by how your audience reacts to something fresh and new. Now, number 8 is one of those you might be like, what? Why is this on your list of 10 tips to never run out of blog post ideas? Well, sleeping restfully is for me one of my greatest strategies to staying inspired as a blogger. I have found that when I do not get enough rest at night, I am uninspired. If I'm tired, I'm uninspired. Literally. And when I get great sleep, I have so many more ideas for blog posts. I am so much more motivated to write, and I find that my writing is a lot better. So I make good sleep a big priority in my life, not only because the health benefits are amazing and because I'm a lot happier and nicer to be around when I've gotten enough sleep, but also because it really impacts my blog in a positive way. In the same vein, breathe deeply. If you're constantly giving and giving and giving out and never taking time to have that margin and that breathing room in your life, you'll soon run out of oxygen. And by that, I mean you won't have the white space in your life to be able to be and breathe and feel refreshed physically, mentally, emotionally. And if you don't allow yourself that space, you're probably going to be very unmotivated because you're just going to be so plain exhausted. You'll be astounded by how much more easily inspiration comes when you're not too busy and burn out to receive it. And number 10, give generously. I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. Do you want to know one of the best ways I've grown my blog? It's by promoting other people. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's not. When you live your life with outstretched arms, you are richly blessed in return. So view yourself as a conduit through which the blessing can pour out to other people. And when you don't have your hands clenched, but you have them outstretched, I find that you just have so much more inspiration and you just love blogging so much more. So be open to promoting other people's content through allowing guest posts on your blog or by regularly linking back to other people's posts that have inspired you. So let's talk about setting realistic blogging goals. Setting and attaining our goals can be a really common problem for many of us. We might have these great big ideas and these dreams and these plans, but when it comes down to actually following through with it, it can be hard. And I know I especially struggled with this when I was early on in my blogging career. I had so many great ideas and I wanted to start so many things. And then what would happen is that I wasn't finishing or following through. So how do you finish and follow through? Well, first off, I think you need to set one goal. That sounds really boring, but you guys, if you only set one goal, it's so much more doable to actually attain and achieve that one goal. So much of the time we set ourselves up for failure by making this huge list of different blogging goals and business ideas and things that we want to do. We feel like we're failing or we're just not doing enough and we need to be doing more. So we decide that we're going to overhaul our blogs and our businesses overnight. But the truth is, it's not possible to overhaul your blog or your business or your life overnight. You can try, but you're quickly going to crash and burn. So I want to challenge you, instead of attempting to change everything or a lot of things all at once, decide to focus on one area, one thing, one goal for the next 2 to 3 months. Yes, you're going to have some other basic daily tasks that you need to do, but let's focus on that one goal and follow it through to the finish line. And then once you've completed it, you can set another goal and then follow that one through to the finish line. It might feel like it's so much more slow going than if you were to set 10 goals, but think with me, if you set one goal every 2 to 3 months and you actually follow through and finish it, over the course of 20 months, you will have finished probably close to 10 goals. And they won't just be ideas and things that you wanted to do, you will actually have done them. In the course handbook, I talk more about how to decide your goals and how to set them in a realistic way so that you can actually follow through with them. But one of the most important things that you need to do is to set some accountability for your goal. Don't just set that goal, then find some accountability. You must have this if you want to follow through with your goal. Figure out what kind of accountability is going to motivate you. Maybe it's another blogger checking in with you every week or every day, or maybe it's a chart on your fridge or a spreadsheet on your computer, an app that you check into each day, or even just posting publicly on Facebook. For me, I share some of my goals and I post them on a weekly basis and share my progress that I'm making. This really motivates me to actually follow through because I know that I have publicly said what my goals are, and then I've publicly promised to continue to share updates on how my goals are doing, and this is huge accountability for me. So set that one goal, find some accountability for your goal, and then I encourage you to reward yourself regularly for the progress that you're making on your goal. And remember to give yourself grace, because it's not always going to be perfect and you're not always going to make the progress that you hoped to make. Don't be a total goal-setting slave driver. Don't be your worst critic and fill yourself with wrong, shameful messaging if you get off course or you're just going slower than you'd hoped. Beating yourself up because you haven't hit all of your marks is not going to inspire you to stay the course. Give yourself grace. Understand that life will happen and there will be hiccups along the way. There will probably be certain circumstances that make it okay for you to set your goal aside for a day or for a week or even for a month or maybe even 3 months. So give yourself grace and remind yourself that moving forward, even at a really tiny microscopic pace, is still moving forward. And a final note that I want to just challenge you with is unplug regularly. We live in a culture where there are electronics all around us and our phones are in our back pockets and we have access to the internet at the touch of a button, and it can be addictive if we don't set parameters in place. I really challenge you, figure out what it looks like for you to take some time off every single week or a few hours every single day that you're just unplugged so that you can plug into your real life and be present for your real life. Giving myself the permission to turn all the online noise off and enjoy life around me has been a game changer for me and my blog. Not only does it make me feel less stressed and frazzled, but I also find that I'm so much more inspired and happier as a blogger and business owner. It gives your brain and your heart a much needed reset to help you maintain your focus on your why and your who for blogging. So give yourself that permission to step away and rest. And I can pretty much guarantee you that it's going to be so much easier for you to create engaging quality content when you're rested and inspired by real life. So in lesson 5, we talked about my top 10 tips for never running out of blog post ideas. We also talked about setting realistic goals, and we talked about the importance of unplugging regularly. I'm so glad that you joined me and Katie for Content Creation 101, and I hope that this has inspired and motivated you for ways that you can engage your readers and keep them coming back again and again and again, but also for how you can stay inspired as a blogger so that you can create content that really impacts all of your readers and ultimately makes a difference in the world.